Manufacturing technique of different varieties of matting by using hand loom, Anugraha loom and Anubam loom. Coir mattings, rugs, mosaics and carpets are primarily used as floor furnishing material in homes, offices, meeting halls, stairs or corridors and auditorium. These products are used both for decorative and functional purposes. A multitude of designs or patterns in natural, bleached and solid colors are available. It is manufactured in width ranging from 60 cm to 5 m and in 50 m length rolls. It is one of the best materials known throughout the world for its durability, soundproofing and damp resisting qualities. Coir mattings are backed with natural rubber latex to make it non-skid and easy for furnishing. Coir mattings are also produced on semi-automatic loom and power looms. Manufacturing technique of different varieties of matting by hand loom. Coir matting is made on hand looms of sturdy construction. The skill of the craftsman plays an important part in the get-up and finishes of the final product. Separate wooden hand looms are used for manufacture of mats and matting. We begin with the functions of the chain beam. Chain beam is a wooden roller upon which the warp yarn is wound. The length of the chain beam depends upon the width of the loom. At one end of this beam is provided a wooden ratchet wheel, by operating which the warp can be released from the beam. Chain rest beam is a wooden beam. Chain rest beam, the size of which is equal to front rest. The function of the chain rest beam is to guide the warp yarn from the chain beam in a parallel sheet form to the headle, reed, etc. of the loom. Headle frame is a rectangular frame in which the hurdles are arranged by suitable introduction of two iron rods at top and bottom, which are called the headle strays. The number of headle frames for a loom depends upon the design and the type of fabric to be woven. A hand loom in coir industry is provided with a maximum 4 headle frames. pulleys are meant for up and down movement for the Headle frames. By the help of single and double pulleys arranged suitably in the looms, the Headle frames get a compound movement when a treadle is depressed. That is, when a treadle is depressed, the corresponding Headle frames is lowered, and at the same time it causes the other Headle frames in the loom to move up simultaneously. The sleigh is used to bring the weft to the fell of the cloth is called beating. The reed determines the width of the fabric woven in the loom. It is also responsible for the density of the fabric. Waist beam or front rest is a support for woven material, and this guides the material to the tension beam. The shape of tension beam is similar to chain beam and length is equal to the width of the loom. The ends of the warp is tied to the apron rod, which is connected to the tension beam by means of pieces of ropes. By operating the iron ratchet, the take up of the woven material is made and tension of the warp is maintained. Regarding mating loom, the woven product is wound on the tension or cloth beam by operating the iron ratchet. The tension beam of the mat loom is placed the backside of the loom below the chain beam. The woven mats are collected at the backside of the loom by operating the iron ratchet provided on the tension beam. Treadles are meant for lowering and raising the Headle frames according to the design to be woven. The process of tying the Headle's frames to the Headles is known as tie-up. By operating the Headle frames tied to it can be lowered or raised. The number of Headle frames and treadles are equal.
The weft placed in the shuttle in the form of quill
Is carried by the shuttle from one side of the warp to the other side. Lamb roll is an iron piece fitted on the loom just below the Headle frame. The Headle frames are first tied to the lamb roll and then to the Headles. Regarding mat loom, each hurdle frames are tied to separate lamb rod and hurdles are connected to the center of the lamb rod. This is to provide the perfect making of the hurdle frame and for the passage woven mat from front to the back side of the loom.
Plain weave or two-shaft matting. Plain weave is the simplest of all weave. The warp threads are lifted one up, one down, and the weft threads interlaced one under and one over alternatively and continuously. The odd-numbered warp threads are lifted up and even-numbered warp threads brought down for the insertion of the first peak. Then the order of lifting is reversed and the second peak is inserted. The repeated performance gives a plain weave. Only 2 hurdle frames are required, but in general, use 4 hurdle frames coupled up in 2 pairs for avoiding interfriction of warp threads during weaving. With 4 hurdle frames, the warp threads are drafted in the order 1, 3, 2, 4, and treadling order is 1, 2. The first and second hurdle frames are tied to the first treadle and third and fourth hurdle frames are tied to the second treadle. Fabrics are woven by the process of interlacement of 2 kinds of threads known as warp and weft. The warp threads are kept in the loom in a parallel sheet form and weft threads passed in between the warp layers form interlacement in definite order depending on the type of fabric to be woven. To achieve this, warp threads are divided into 2 layers and pass a weft in between the layers of warp threads. This process is called shedding, and the space between the 2 layers of warp when divided is called shed. The process of inserting the weft from one side of the warp to the other side is called picking. The process of bringing the inserted pick in the shed nearest to the last pick already inserted in the fabric is known as beating. These 3 processes are essential for weaving of fabric and hence called fundamentals of weaving.
Basket weave. It is a modification of plain weave. Instead of single thread raised or lowered alternatively in plain weave, the warp threads are allowed to raise and lower 2 or 3 strands together and interlace with the weft, which also will be in 2 or 3. Usually looms with 4 hurdle frames and 4 treadles are used for weaving basket weave matting. They are tied up into 2 pairs. The drafting order is 1, 2, 1, 3, 4, 3, 2, 1, 2 and 4, 3, 4. The proportion of the number of warp and weft can be varied to get different quality of basket weave matting. Basket weave enables the production of attractive patterns in both stripe and check. Both sides of the matting have the same appearance and the matting is therefore reversible. Visibility of weft yarn is more and hard twisted yarn is used in the borders of tile for ornamentation. Basket matting having 2 warp threads raised and 2 lowered together and weft interlaces in pair is called Panama matting. The drafting order for Panama matting is 1, 2, 3, 4. Basket matting in which 3 warp threads are raised and lowered together and interlacing with the weft thread in pairs is called saloon matting. Ribbed matting or SK1 matting. Ribbed matting is a plain weave in which a rib-like structure exhibited on the surface. To obtain ribs, a group of the warp threads in the required proportion is allowed to work at a lower tension than the other warp threads. These lesser tensioned warp threads bend over the weft threads during the process of weaving to form the rib.